Hi, my name's Elise. I'm going to be your nurse today. Can I have you tell me your name and date of birth?
Danielle, 4/12/87.
And your last name?
Darko.
And do you know what day it is?
Yes, December 12th, 2013.
Okay, and do you know who the president is?
Yes, Obama.
Okay, and what are you in the hospital for?
Diabetes.
Okay, I'm just going to look at your name band. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start with is I am going to take a listen to your heart, if that's okay?
Yep.
Okay, so first I'm going to find the sternal notch, find the angle of Louis, and then I'm going to go to the second intercostal space, and we'll listen for the S2, which is also the aortic. And it is regular. I'm going to move to the other side, second intercostal space, and listen to the pulmonic. I'm going to move down to the fourth intercostal space and listen to Erb's point. Move down to the fifth intercostal space and listen to the tricuspid. Move over to the fifth intercostal space where the S1 is and listen to the mitral valve. And all of the heart sounds are regular. I'm gonna check for PMI, so I'm just gonna have you lean over like a bear hug. And while she's doing this, I'm feeling for any thrills, and I don't feel any, so that is normal. Also, when I was talking to the patient when I came to the room, I was watching her facial expression, checking her rate of speech. Her skin color appears normal, her skin tone is pink, and her speech was clear. So the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to listen to your lungs, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to do 4 sets on the front side. I'm going to find the clavicle and go right above that. Have you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And while she's taking these deep breaths, I'm looking for any accessory muscle use. Her breathing appears unlabored. Okay, and keep doing in through your nose, out through your mouth. And now I'm going to listen to the lateral sides. I'm going to do 2 sets on each side. Okay, and I don't hear any wheezing or crackles, so that is normal. The next thing that I would assess for is her chest symmetry, which it appears normal. It is a 1 to 2, which is what we would like to see. And then the next thing I'm going to do is listen to your lungs on the back side. I'm just going to turn your chair around here. Okay, so I'm going to find the C3 and then I will start. I'll just have you breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. And if at any time you feel lightheaded from taking all these deep breaths, please let me know and we can take a break. Okay, and I don't hear any wheezing or crackles when I am auscultating on the back side either. The next thing I'm going to do is perform a gophony. So every time you feel me move my stethoscope, I want you to say E.
E. E. E. E. E. E. E. E.
Okay, and it did diminish as I was moving down, so that is normal. Next I'm going to perform tactile fremitus. So every time you feel me move my hands, I want you to say 99.
99.
the vibrations diminish, so that is normal. That's what I would want to hear. The next thing I do is that I'm going to do, Danielle, is percuss. So you're just going to feel me doing some tapping on your back here. Resonance, 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 resonance. And that is normal. So I'm going to have you turn back around, and I'm going to have you make a little bit of a heart with your two fingers, and I'm looking for clubbing. I don't see any, so that is normal. And then I'm actually going to have you turn around one more time. I'm going to just check your chest expansion, so I'm going to go down to the T9. I'm going to pull in. I want you to take a deep breath and then let it out. Okay, and so it looks like her chest is expanding symmetrically, and that is normal. The next thing we'll do while you're still sitting is I'm going to check your reflexes. So I'm going to step over to this side, and I'm going to check your tricep reflexes. You let your arms dangle. +2. I'll check this one. How do you like this arm dangle too? +2. Okay, and then I'm going to check your patellar reflexes. +2. +2. Okay. While I'm doing this, I'm just gonna bend down here, look at both of your toes, and I'm gonna check the capillary reflex or capillary refills, and it is bilaterally less than 3, which is normal. And while I'm down here, I'm also looking at the skin tone. It is pink, dry. There's no edema, no swelling. I'm also going to be looking between her toes for any cracking. And then while I'm down here, I'm just going to be checking for sensation. So I want you to tell me if you can feel. I'm just going to be poking with this pokey end of my hammer here. Okay. So you tell me where I'm poking.
Little toe, big toe, heel.
Okay, I'm going to check the other foot.
Big toe, heel, little toe.
Okay, and then I'm also, while I'm down here, I'm going to be checking for the Babinski reflex. So I'm going to start at the heel of your foot and just check to see if the positive reflex. And she didn't. Her toes did not fan out, which would indicate a positive result. Have you noticed any numbness or tingling in your toes or your hands?
No.
Okay, that is good. I'm going to have you grab both of my fingers and squeeze at the same time. Okay, +5, and then I'll have you put your hands like this. And push down, don't let me push down. +5, and push up, don't let me push up. +5, you put your hands like this. And I'm going to push, don't let me push. +5, pull, don't let me pull. +5. And then I'm also going to check the motor strength on your legs. So I'm going to try to pull, and you don't let me pull. +5, I'll push back, and don't let me push back. +5. And then for your feet, I'm going to try to push up, and don't let me push up. +5, and I'll try to push down, don't let me push down. +5. Okay, so that is all normal. The next thing I will have you do is we're going to do an abdominal assessment, but before that I will have you go use the bathroom, okay? Okay, so help you down. And while she's walking to the bathroom, I would be assessing the gait, making sure that she's balanced, making sure that she's not limping. And I'll have you come back into bed. Did you experience any dizziness while you're walking in the bathroom?
No.
Okay. So I will have you lay down. And right now we have the head of the bed elevated 45 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and take a look at her jugular vein to see if there's any distension. So I'll have you look that way. I don't see anything, so I'll have you look this way. And I don't see anything. So that is normal. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to auscultate and listen to see if I hear any bruits. be listening with the bell side of my stethoscope. So I'll have you look that way, and I want you to take a deep breath and hold it. Okay, release. If you look this way, you can take another deep breath and hold it. Okay, and I don't hear anything, so that is good. I am going to check your pupil reaction. So you're just going to see a shiny bright light, and I just want you to look straight at me. And then you're reactive to light. Reactive. Okay, I want you to look at the ceiling, and then I want you to look at my pen. Okay, and then you are accommodating whenever they look back at the pen. The next thing I am going to do is the pulses. So I will start with your temporal pulses, and you're just going to feel me pressing. Temporal pulses, bilateral +2, carotid +2, carotid +2, brachial, bilateral +2. And also while I'm checking her pulses, I'm feeling her skin temperature, and it feels warm. No open areas seen so far. Radial pulses, bilateral +2. Ulnar pulses, bilateral +2. Femoral pulses, bilateral +2. Popliteal pulses, bilateral +2. Dorsalis pedis, bilateral +2. And posterior tibial, bilateral +2. I've already checked your capillary refills on her feet, but I'm going to check them on her hands as well. I'm just going to make sure. And bilaterally less than 3, so that is normal. The next thing, I'm going to do your abdominal assessment. Have you been having any pain in your abdomen?
No.
Okay, so I am going to just get your blanket here. I'm going to cover you up a little bit so we have some privacy. With the abdominal assessment, I am just going to be inspecting, just seeing what it looks like, and then I'm going to listen, and then I'm going to do a little bit of palpating, and then some percussion. So I'm going to lift up your shirt a little bit here. And so the first thing I'm doing is I'm inspecting to see if there's any bulging, if everything looks symmetrical. I'm also going to be looking for any scars from either a C-section or any previous abdominal surgeries, and I don't see any. So I am going to begin auscultating, and I don't see any pulsation either. So I'm going to start in the right lower quadrant. Active, 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 active. So all 4 quadrants have active vowel sounds. The next thing I'm going to do is palpate, and while I'm palpating, I'm going to be looking for any facial grimacing. And you let me know if this hurts at all. Starting in the right lower quadrant, I'll palpate. Okay, and then I'm also going to percuss with just the one finger. Tympanic, 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 tympanic. Okay, and then I'm also going to be listening for the aortic artery and the renal arteries. The aortic is 1 to 2 centimeters above the umbilicus, and I don't want to hear anything. Listen to the renal arteries, and I don't hear anything there as well. And I would be using the bell side of my stethoscope to auscultate those. So everything with the abdomen looks okay. Is there anything else that I can get for you right now?
No.